All right, so we want to find the exact value of this trig ratio over here. So if you want to find exact values, you need to break down this angle into two separate angles. And typically those angles are 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. So those are the angles in the first quadrant, but you can keep going. You can do high angles as well, like um 90 plus 30 is 120, 135, 150, 180, so on and so forth. Basically, all these values are values you should know without a calculator. You can either figure them out from a sine graph or you can figure them out from the special triangles. So you want to break this angle down into two of these angles over here. I know 75 can be broken down into 30 plus 45. So I'm going to switch this to sine 30 plus 45. And then you want to use your addition formula to split this. So sine 30 plus 45 equals to sine 30 cos 45 plus cos 30 sine 45. And then you want to solve these using your special triangles. For sine 30, I know that my triangle is going to be like this, 30, 60, and then that's 90. Opposite of 30 is the smaller side, which is 1. Opposite of 60 is the largest side, which is root 3, and then the hypotenuse is the largest, which is positive 2. So sine of 30 is just opposite over hypotenuse, which is 1 over 2. For cos of 45, I'll use my second special triangle. It's just 45, 45, right angle, 1, 1, and root 2. So cos of 45 is just 1 over root 2 adjacent over hypotenuse. Cos of 30 is adjacent over hypotenuse, so root 3 over 2. And sine of 45 is just 1 over root 2 again. And then we want to simplify this over here, so we can simplify it 1 times 1, so that's 1 over 2 root 2 plus root 3 over 2 root 2. The denominators are the same, so I can write it with a common denominator. And then if you need to rationalize, you need to make sure that the bottom does not have a square root. We can multiply the top and bottom by root 2. So on the top, we'll get a root 2 plus root 6. And on the bottom, we'll have this 2. And then root 2 times root 2 is just 2. So this just simplifies to root 2 plus root 6 divided by 4. Let's take a look at a second example. The second example is cos of 15. So I know I can split 15 into 45 minus 30. I could also do 60 minus 45. It doesn't matter. You'll end up with the same solution. So cos of 45 minus 30. And then I'll use my subtraction formula for cos. So that's cos 45, cos 30, plus sine 45, sine 30. Cos 45 is just 1 over root 2. And cos of 30 is root 3 over 2. And sine of 45 is again 1 over root 2. And sine of 30 is 1 over 2. Then I just have to simplify this. So this is just root 3 over 2 root 2 plus 1 over 2 root 2. It's basically the same answer as the last one we did. As you'll see when we simplify, it's root 3 plus 1 over 2 root 2 and multiply root 2 on the top and bottom. So I'll just get root 6 plus root 2 over 2 times 2, which will be 4. Multiplying root 2 on the top and bottom here. So pretty much same solution here. And that's perfectly fine. You can sometimes get the same solution. And finally, let's go to the third example, which is cos 105. So I want to split cos 105 into cos 45 plus cos 60. So cos 45 plus 60. That's going to equal to cos 45 cos 60 minus sine 45 sine 60. And then cos 45, if I look at my special triangle, is 1 over root 2. Cos 60 is 1 over 2. Sine 45 is 1 over root 2, and sine 60 is root 3 over 2. That's just 1 over 2 root 2 minus root 3 over 2 root 2. Already have a common denominator, so 1 minus root 3 over 2 root 2. Multiply the top and bottom by root 2. And I'll get my final solution as root 2 minus root 6 divided by 2 times root 2 times root 2 is 2 times 2, which is just 4.